it can be a dangerous thing to attempt to speak for God. The prophets of the Hebrew scriptures often found themselves subject to censure and persecution from earthly rulers. John the Baptist was arrested and beheaded. Disciples of Jesus were persecuted and executed. Now, 20 centuries on, we are more likely to be ignored than to be ill-treated. In our day and time, though, the scriptures reveal to us so much about who God is and what God does that it is easy to read God's message to us in the Bible and in all of creation. Here in this place, we are invited to imagine God, to hear God, to listen. So imagine, if you will, that God has written a letter of love to the world. Worshiping at home this Christmas Eve has given us the opportunity to receive the message, to open this letter, and to savor each loving word. So I invite you on this holy night to listen to God's love letter to the world. Dearly beloved, I began writing this letter of love to you from the first moment of creation. My letter began when I spoke across the face of the deep void, saying, "Let there be light." In creation, I showed myself in physical form, incarnational and real, and not just me, not just one person, but the Trinity. For Christ was there from the very beginning. The gospel speaks rightly. All things came to be through Christ, and without him, nothing came to be. What came to be through him was life, and this life was the light of the human race. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it. Throughout human history, I have spoken my words of love to you. In my covenant with all creation at the time of Noah, I promised that I would never again destroy you with a flood. In my covenant with Abraham, I promised to make him a great nation. My continuing love for my people whom I created in my image has been evident throughout human history. I brought my people out of bondage. I rescued them from exile. I redeemed them from slavery. And I continue to send you messages through the voices of the prophets. When the time was right, I came as an infant, born to a peasant couple from an obscure village in Palestine. I made myself known to you in Jesus, fully human and fleshed. This was not my plan B, as if my love letters had failed or gone unnoticed or gone unanswered up to now. I was not angry, nor in need of a sacrificial death to appease me. I did not come for the sole purpose of dying. No, not at all. I came to bring life. In that birth in Bethlehem, I sent yet another message of love. In that tiny infant, I wrote to you the Word made flesh, the words of life, because I came to live in you and among you. I came to lead you like a shepherd. I came to love you like a brother and a child and a father and a mother. I came to illuminate your world, to shine the light of love into life. I came to heal the hurts that life inevitably brings. I came to offer an outstretched hand to the outcast. I came to bind up the brokenhearted, to love those who feel unlovable. I came to feed the hungry and lift up the fallen. I came to be with you even in your bleakest moments of suffering and sorrow. By my birth as a human, I could know what it is to be you, and you could have access to me, a light in the world, the bread of life, living water, the gate to the narrow way, the vine that sustains you, the branches. I have been writing this love letter to you for as long as humans have lived. This story of Christmas is part of my love letter to you. For you too are my precious and beloved child. You too were part of my plan from the very beginning. Listen now to how it began, the light coming into the world. Listen, and as you listen, consider your own letter of love to the world I made. How will you speak mercy to those who suffer and embrace those who shudder in loneliness? How will you come alongside Jesus to feed the hungry and clothe the naked? How will this birth, this story, this message of love live in you and enliven you, and through you, illuminate your world? Listen, and after you have listened, join me at the table I've set for you. For it is a celebration of communion with me, a family meal that brings you back together with one another, a foretaste of the heavenly banquet in which we will one day join. Here is but one part of my great love letter to you.